Jerome's asleep at the wheel. The European Central Bank cut rates. Trump wants Jerome gone. XRP price talk.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
You know what I want this Easter weekend?
You know what I need. Dim the lights, let's do it.
And some green up on my screen. That's why I got green in my background. Rally. But before we get into the crypto news, like Trump and Powell going at it, why? Because the Europeans got it right. Look at homegirl clutching her scarf. She's like, yo, I'm dropping rates, girlfriend. You better start spending. We go to your comments. Yes, because you, the viewer, matter most. Tino Archuleta starts us off, says, as long as Ripple has XRP, it will never need an IPO. All these other ways XRP is being used to make money, though. ETF, XRP is Ripple's IPO. Dude, that is brilliant. That's why I'm sharing it. Totally true. Ripple doesn't need to IPO because it has XRP. Juan Connor throwing it back to an old Twitter handle. Ooh, sorry, I couldn't say that one. Justin Sun and CZ are both dirty. CZ still doing dirt in the shadows. I totally agree. He is person number one that we need to get rid of in the crypto herp world. Alan McMaster says, bruh, always crack me up. Great video. Have a great day. Have a great Friday. Have a great Easter weekend. You ready for it, everyone? Bitcoin sitting at 84,440. ETH is 1585. XRP at 206. While BNB is at 594. 8 is at 61.7. While XLM's melting face is at 24.1. Doe is at 15.6. While Sol's at 133. Our XRP price at the end, but remember all the influencers that were shoveling quant down your throats? Let's zoom out to the 1 year on quant and go, oh, girlfriend. Oh, we're below the levels we were before the Trump pump. And then let's zoom out to the all-time chart and go, yo, pump and dumperoni. But what about all those influencers that said quant melting faces? So here's what started this all. European Central Bank on Thursday cut rates. Why? Because they're like, look, Trump tariff might make things more expensive, so we're going to get ahead of it and cut rates. Now, the European rate is at 2.25. Right now, the US's rate is where everyone, hold on, 4.33. 4.25 to 450. Okay? Just throwing that out there right now. I could give you the 5 year if you want. That's where we're at right now. 433. See it? See it right there? See it right there up on the screen? Okay? Okay, gotcha. Got you all covered right there. Let's keep getting back to the news. European Central Bank cut interest rates on Thursday as policymakers grappled with heightened economic uncertainty, particularly from President Trump's chaotic trade policies. Why? Because they're saying it might weaken the economy. They're getting ahead, like I said. Policymakers who set rate for the 20 countries that use the euro, fight me down below, lowered their key rate a quarter point to 2.25%. It was the 7th consecutive cut since June, since the economic outlook has darkened and inflation has slowed. So, what are the odds that Jerome Powell's going to cut rates in May? 9% chance that he's going to cut rates. So you got a 91% chance essentially that he's going to pause. So what did this do? This pissed off Trumpito. Trumpito's like, yo, Trump, termination can't come fast enough. The problem is the Federal Reserve is a private organization and Trump does not have power over that. He thinks he has power over it. He would have to go through the courts to see what they say. Listen to this. This is what Trump said. I don't think he's doing the job. He's too late. He's always too late. Slow. I'm not happy with him. I let him know it, and if I want him out, he'll be out of there real fast. Believe me. This is what Trump is talking about. When shit got bad with the Rona, there were a bunch of us going, yo, stuff is getting expensive, girlfriend. You need to raise rates. And Jerome was like, no, we're good. Then remember he brought a 75, then a 75, then a 75, then a 75, a 75. Yeah. That's what Trump is talking about. Dude, you brought 3 75s in a row and you totally shocked the hell out of the market when you could have brought a 25 here or 25 there a lot sooner. Trump follows this even further. If I want him out, he'll be out real fast. I'm not happy with him. Now, Trump was the guy that put Powell in the beginning, right? Powell was initially nominated by Trump in 2017, was appointed to another 4-year term by Biden. The whole thing is this. Trump wants Powell to cut rates. The reason he wants Powell to cut rates is because when rates are lower, you can grow faster because money is cheaper. It's like having a credit card at 4% rather than at 20%, right? You would rather build your house with a loan at 4% than you would a loan at 20%, right? That's just how it works. So that's what Trump wants. He wants rates to come down so that we can build back faster at cheaper. And this is the chart line for the 5 years for the Fed fund rate. This is all linked down below. So you got the Europeans, 7 cuts in a row, quarter, very consistent. Look at homegirl right there. She dresses nice. I like the blue glasses with the blue background. She's doing good. She's doing good, trust me. Versace, homegirl's doing good, okay? You got Trump here pissed as hell because Jerome's like, nah, I'm not going to cut rates. And look, he's not. Now, cutting rates in June, the odds are a little bit spicier. You got a 67% chance that he's going to cut some rates. That's good. Now, the crypto market. Okay, we're starting to see some more softness here, and that's not good. You're starting to see a little bit more red up on the screen than we saw earlier today, and that's not good. The volume, a bit more red as well. Down 22% yesterday, comparatively volume-wise. 55 billion. That's not good at all, girlfriend. Here's the other thing that's not good. There are 13.75 million cryptos. Yeah. Let that sink in. Do you know how much money is spread out through meme that could be going into like legitimate stuff out there? Good news though. We had an inflow day. Institutionally, I think that's good for all of us. Let's talk XRP price. All right, cool. Let's zoom out to the 1 month because I want to share with you something, okay? 1 month ago, we were sitting at 250. People were thinking, hey, this is kind of cool. But then we had the tariff thing come in, okay? And the tariff thing really shook the hell out of us. Now, here's the problem. The tariff thing was through a whole bunch of countries, right? Remember that? We had Canada, we had Mexico, we had China, we had stuff with the European players. We had tariff stuff all over the place. But the one that's really stuck is the China one. Now, we had some really, really good CPI data, some really good inflation data, where it came down. That didn't help the price out at all because the China tariff bubble is so big, so much more powerful that it overruled the action we got with what? With inflation data. That's why you're seeing all this negativity right here because players are like, whoa, how crazy are we going to get here with tariffs? How nuts is this going to be going back and forth, right? Starts off with 100% tariff. Then someone comes back with a 150, then 200, then you see what I mean? And that's what we're going through right now. We know we're not going to get any action through Easter. That's why you can see this last week here, we really leveled off. Because there's no business that's going to be conducted on Easter. It's not like these players are going to be like, yo, interrupt me on my vacation. It's Easter. No, these players take off. So that's why you're seeing the volatility happen when it did. And then the markets are like, okay, cool. We're not complete poop sandwich. We got a little bit of a 90-day break here. That's why we rebounded, right? Remember that when we got the 90-day tariff reprieve right there? Cool. Then we still got to deal with the China poop sandwich. So above $2, we're comfortable with that. Are we super excited? No, but we're comfortable with that. We look a little bit forward, right? We go to this here. Let's do this. Let's move a little bit forward. Right here, right? We move a little bit forward. We start knocking out the tariffs. We start getting more juicy CPI data. We start getting some rate cuts from the Fed. We start talking about growth, and growth is good for crypto. Lower rates is good for crypto. We need to build in crypto. We need to build utility, not just speculation. So as rates come down, you can build in crypto for cheaper. That is some of the good that we got coming here. We also got regs. We also got a whole bunch of other stuff like ETFs. So yeah, we got good stuff to look forward to. We just got to get through this tariff BS. And we just got to get through Jerome Powell being the laggard, being the slow guy to the party. Hey, Jerome, meeting starts at 2. No problem, guys. I'll be there at 2:30. Jerome, late to the party. He was late to bring the rate raises when it first started with the Rona, and he was late to the party with the cuts. In the United States, we've been sitting here watching our friends to the north. Like, north is up, right? Whenever they say, oh, which way is north? It's always up, right? Just be honest here. When we were watching our friends to the north, they were there cutting rates already. And we're like, bro, what about us? Come on, help us out. And, like, we didn't see that, right? And Trump's got a good point here. Jerome is late to the party. Housing is not really going down fast enough. Building new homes is not happening fast enough. Building new affordable homes is not happening fast enough. I should have said it that way. Because it's still super expensive with the loans. Materials are still super expensive. The cost for all this stuff keeps getting passed on down because the rates for everything is still way too high. And inflation is still too high. Yeah, we had a couple juicy reports in a row, but it's still too high comparatively because we've had high inflation now for several years. So we start getting the inflation to come down, we start getting the rates to come down, we knock out the tariff stuff, we start getting the ETFs. Yes, things look greener, but just give us some resolution on the tariff action. And we know that's not going to happen through Easter, all right? Let's just be real here. If it does, it'll be a Christmas miracle from the Easter Bunny, from Santa Claus to hoppity hip hop or whatever the hell we call the Easter Bunny nowadays. I don't know the Easter Bunny, okay? I'm a Christmas guy. So yeah, that's the market roundup for you. XRP is still holding its own at $2. The rest of the market's kind of doing its own thing. Volume is balls crappy low, and I've got a doctor's appointment, and it probably means I got to shut down for even longer. That is not choo-choo, bitches. But I'm going to end the video anyways with what? With choo-choo.